Live from WPRI 12. This is Eyewitness News This Morning. Coverage you can count on.
An overnight crash now under investigation as police wait for word on the condition of those rushed from the scene by a medical helicopter. And more local coverage this morning. Residents in one neighborhood dealing with a rat attack that has them demanding action this morning. And after a deadly week in Iraq, U.S. soldiers go on the offensive now in Operation Quick Strike. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for the second half hour of Eyewitness News this morning on a Saturday morning. I'm Mark Zinni.
And I'm Michelle Muscatello, and a nice Saturday morning at that.
Very nice Saturday morning. There's no stickies in the air, none of that nonsense.
No, the humidity is dropping. The clouds are moving out of here.
It may be humid, but it's not like it was.
Yesterday was one of the hottest days we've seen in the last several years. We topped out at 99 degrees. It's the official temperature.
When we're that close, we should have just hit it.
It didn't break the record. 100 was the record, apparently. It said earlier in the day that 98 was the record, so I was thinking that we broke it. But I guess the record was 100. We came pretty close.
When you're that high, what's the difference?
What's the difference? Well, we had those strong storms come through yesterday, and now we're expecting temperatures could be up to 15 degrees cooler for your afternoon high than we were yesterday. So a powerful cold front that came through. Line pinpoint Doppler 12 radar is all dry this morning. There's the leftover clouds we're still seeing on city cam. Those are expected to push on out of here through the morning hours, and we are going to be left with a lot of sunshine for later on this afternoon. 73 degrees your current temperature. West-northwest winds are at 5 and humidity at 59%. How hot will it get in your neighborhood? Well, bearable, that's what I can tell you, but I'll break it down for you coming up.
That's the good word, though, today, bearable.
Very bearable.
All right, thanks very much, Michelle. We'll see you in a bit. 6:31 now, we want to update everyone on the morning's top news stories. Starting here in the East Bay, 2 people taken by medical helicopter to the hospital after a serious crash on Route 24 in Tiverton. This all happening just after 11 o'clock last night. Now, police aren't releasing much information about what happened, but we do know this was the only vehicle involved. There's no word this morning on the conditions of the 2 victims there. Strong storms sweeping through parts of Rhode Island, leaving behind some pretty significant damage. Thunder, lightning, torrential downpours, all causing trouble throughout the state yesterday. But check out the scene here in Smithfield last night. Heavy wind took down a large tree, almost crushing a house. A Rhode Island hospital spokesperson now confirming the death of a 74-year-old man who was caught in his burning apartment Friday. Investigators say Bernard Gall fell asleep while smoking, setting his couch on fire. It happened here in his 12th floor apartment at the Sister Dominica Manor on Atwells Avenue. The investigation into an exact cause continues there this morning. Well, they are creepy, and they're taking over a local neighborhood. Rats seen eating out of a pet dish in a backyard. How's that with your breakfast this morning? Now, those who've witnessed it say enough is enough. Something must be done to get rid of these nasty rodents. Eyewitness News reporter Audrey Desrosiers has details in our top local story from the mobile newsroom.
Where they were first originally noticed was from this yard here.
Dawn Wilton keeps a clean yard and expects her neighbors to do the same. But despite her efforts, this is what she saw right next door a couple days ago, a rat feeding from her neighbor's dog dish.
The rat that I seen over there, I mean, the tail on that thing must have been this long.
The Central Falls neighborhood now the scene of several rat sightings over the last couple weeks.
I have a 7-year-old, and I'm afraid of what's going to happen to these kids. We have a lot of kids in this neighborhood.
Dawn was so horrified she made several phone calls to City Hall, City Council, and other city officials, but says she got no answers.
After about 4 different phone calls, said, well, you know what? Enough of the political runaround, and I called you.
Eyewitness News has now learned an inspector went out to the house yesterday and discovered several rat holes in front of Dawn's neighbor's home. The woman who rents the home did not feel comfortable talking with us, but a code enforcement officer told us that they are citing her landlord and are giving him 72 hours to have an exterminator take care of the problem. The code enforcement officer confirmed Dawn's speculations that the rat problem is originating here at the old train depot just a block from Dawn's home. It's believed the rats were rooted out of the once abandoned depot after some renovation work began here. Dawn hopes the city will now take care of the bigger problem, which means ridding this depot of the unwanted rats. The code enforcement officer told Dawn that Central Falls, along with Pawtucket, will be conducting further surveillance of that old depot. They'll also be further examining the surrounding properties in that neighborhood to see just how they can get rid of the rats. In Central Falls with the mobile newsroom, Audrey Desrosiers, Eyewitness News.
It's pleasant. Also this morning, North Kingstown police telling us they've arrested a teenager in connection with a vandalism spree there. You may remember several businesses were damaged last month in Wickford. Police say the 17-year-old boy now faces charges for the graffiti spree that began in late June. Gardner's Wharf Seafood and security cleansers on Main Street are among those damaged there. Eyewitness News now working the latest in America at war this morning. U.S. Marines and Iraqi troops have launched Operation Quick Strike in an area believed to be a stronghold for insurgents. It's also where 22 Marines were killed this past week. Already, troops have moved into one city outside Baghdad. Residents say American and Iraqi forces are searching house by house for insurgents, and American warplanes have been flying overhead.
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
Good morning, everyone. The Red Sox headed into Minnesota last night as the hottest team in the big leagues, winning 8 straight games as they kicked off a 3-game series in the Twin Cities. Manny Ramirez back in the lineup last night after sitting out the day before, recovering from that collision with Edgar Renteria earlier in the week. He had a chance to get the Sox going in the first. Runners at the corners. Brad Radke hits the corner of the plate, rings up Manny, and he doesn't like it. Bottom of the inning, Twins on top, 1-0 with the bases loaded. Justin Morneau grounds to Bronson Arroyo. He fires into center field. This one gets ugly. All 3 men come home. It's a 4-run first. Arroyo would throw 39 pitches in the inning. Bottom of the 4th, 2-on for Joe Mauer. He would take Arroyo deep to left. That makes it 6-0. The wheels then fall off completely for the Sox. Twins would add 6 more. 12-0 the final, and for the 3rd time this season, the Sox are shut out. The win streak comes to an end. Yankees in Toronto last night, first inning. Gary Sheffield with a 2-run home run. That puts New York on top 2-0. Bombers load up the bases in the 4th. Robinson Cano at the plate. He doesn't go out of the yard, but goes deep enough to drive a run home. That's a sac fly. Yankees played another. Aaron Small allowed just 1 run in 6 2/3 innings. The final 6-2. Yankees are back within 3.5 games of the Red Sox for first place in the AL East. Sox wrapping up a series in Syracuse last night. They took the loss in a close one, 3-2 the final. John Papelbon with his first relief appearance struck out 2 in a scoreless 8th. And that is your look at sports. I'm Pete Lucas. Have a great day, everybody.
All right, Pete, we'll try. Thank you very much. 6:37 now on a Saturday morning. Still ahead on Eyewitness News. A dramatic scene as a drug bust takes a deadly turn. Find out why officers were forced to fire their weapons. And protecting yourself from the sun, we have the important details you need to know before you step outside.
And we are expecting those clouds to continue to move on out of here. 80 degrees at noontime, topping out in the low 80s. It's going to be a real pleasant day today. 81 at 5 o'clock. Your temperature, or your sunset time rather, right around 7:57. Mark?
All right, thanks, Michelle. There is still no word this morning on what caused the death of a 12-year-old girl at Walt Disney World. Eyewitness News giving you the latest now as we cover America. Today, detectives awaiting the autopsy report of the girl who died after visiting Disney's Typhoon Lagoon. Officials say the girl was at the wave pool when lifeguards noticed her collapse. The girl then insisted she felt fine, but as she got up, she then passed out and later died at the hospital. A Disney spokesperson says there was nothing mechanically wrong with the pool, and it's now back in use. Family members say the girl had no known medical problems. A marijuana raid in California turns deadly, and an armed suspect is still on the loose. It happened in the remote hills of San Jose, as you can see here in this dramatic video, where state fish and game wardens were ambushed as they closed in on a massive pot operation there by helicopter, apparently. Deputies shot and killed 1 suspect, and at least 1 more got away. 1 warden was seriously injured, but is expected to be okay, we're told. 6:41 now on your Saturday morning. Still ahead on Eyewitness News. Taking it all off for a good cause. Find out why this group of grannies say they'll do anything to keep a courthouse standing.
Sunscreen is one shield from the hot summer sun, but there's more you can do to protect your skin. I'll have details coming up in medical coverage.
And if sunbathing is in your plans, I'll let you know what the beach futurecast is going to look like. It's coming up in your full futurecast straight ahead. Eyewitness News on WPRI 12 is coverage you can count on.
Live Pinpoint Doppler 12 made possible by Alpert's Furniture Showplace, always serving our community. Now, Mark Zinni, meteorologist Michelle Muscatello with live Pinpoint Doppler 12 and News Chopper 12. Eyewitness News, Coverage you can count on continues.
Welcome back on this Saturday morning. Right now, the Ocean State is considered hot property for Hollywood, pretty much everyone else. But can filming movies in Rhode Island mean big bucks for the state? Already, Showtime's The Brotherhood has set up shop here in Rhode Island. During the filming of our Newsmakers program yesterday, Pamela Watts sat down to discuss the benefits with the director of the Rhode Island Film and Television Office, Stephen Feinberg. Feinberg says this is only the beginning for Hollywood opportunity here.
I believe now we are poised to, let's say, we're on the radar of Hollywood. We were in the Hollywood Reporter, we've been in Variety, we've had conversations with the Motion Picture Association. We have the TV series, which is a first for the state of Rhode Island, that a series is shooting entirely in Rhode Island.
All right, you can catch Newsmakers right here in its entirety on WPRI 12 tomorrow morning at 6:30 before this newscast, then on our sister station, Fox Providence, starting at 10 a.m. Well, a group of elderly ladies are taking it all off in an attempt to save an aging courthouse. 7 Indiana women ranging in age from their 70s through their 90s posed nude for a calendar they hope will be able to stop the courthouse date with a wrecking ball. The women are signing and selling their courthouse girls calendars to raise money to renovate and help fix the deteriorating structure. They were greeted by a long line of supporters asking for personalized messages.
Accurate, dependable, live pinpoint Doppler 12 is Southern New England's only live Doppler radar. Now, here's meteorologist Michelle Muscatello with your live pinpoint Doppler 12 futurecast.
About 6:45 now on a Saturday morning. I actually just was reading on the wire that the National Weather Service is going to make a stop in Beverly, Massachusetts today to see if it was a tornado or something like that went through that area, but we obviously had some pretty strong winds here.
Yeah, we did have some wind damage reported in places like Burrowville. In fact, I've got a list here of some of the damage. Smithfield had trees down on St. Paul Street. There was a street with a pole down in Foster.
Kind of scattered all throughout the
area. Just a damage here and there. You said you noticed some in Warren. And certainly there were some very strong wind gusts up to, say, 50, 60 miles per hour with some of these storms that came through. So it was a rough night, but clearing up now.
Set us up for today.
Yes.
That's
Which will be worth it, I think, and hopefully nobody had any significant damage at their house. Live pinpoint Doppler 12 radar, not picking up any precipitation this morning. What we are dealing with is some additional cloud cover, but it's making for a real beautiful sunrise as we check out our live city cam pictures. The sun's starting to shine through those clouds, and they're going to continue to push out to sea. 73 degrees your current temperature. West-northwest winds are at 5. This is a cooler and drier wind direction, so it's going to usher in that nicer air. 59 degrees is the current humidity out there. And after a very mild morning in Providence, temperatures really dropping down in Pawtucket, and that's due to some of the clearer skies allowing for radiational cooling. Stayed mild, though, in Westerly. 69 in the Newport area. And as we take a look at the satellite and radar imagery, we are seeing those clouds again hanging around. They are taking a general trend to the south and east, though. And as we take a look at the wider perspective, we are seeing that cold front that moved through yesterday. It was a strong cold front, and it is going to succeed in dropping our temperatures down a good 15 degrees for this afternoon's high. Behind it, high pressure is going to build in. Now you see some scattered showers and thunderstorms off of the water. That's due to a little upper level low pressure system that's working its way down across the waters and will stay far enough to the south not to affect us. This high is going to be what's in control of our weather over the next couple of days, and as it does take control, it's going to cause some sunshine and some fair weather. So it's a good system when those highs move in. 3 o'clock this afternoon, your futurecast, mostly sunny skies. Seasonable temperatures, we should be at 83 degrees, and we're going to average right about that across the area. 80 in Charlestown, 82 Hope Valley, Coventry near 84 degrees, low to mid-80s possible Pasco, Foster, 82 in Scituate, and down along the bay. A little bit cooler in places like Little Compton where maybe light sea breeze will kick in. Taunton near 83 degrees. Great day at the beach. Plentiful sunshine this afternoon. 77 to 82 degrees. Water temperature near 70. And the safe sun time about 15 to 20 minutes. On the bay, should be a good day to do some boating. Make sure you lather up on the sunscreen. Northwest winds switching to the east 5 to 10. Waves at 1 foot or less. Visibility should be unlimited. High tide at 9:27 this morning and your low tide just before 3 o'clock this afternoon. And don't forget, it's Water Fire Night. If you're headed out there, should be a nice night for it. just like the couple weekends ago. Comfortable temperatures starting off in the 70s and then falling off into the 60s, and before the night is all said and done, many locations will be in the 50s. 57 Burrillville, Foster, 58 in Coventry, Providence near 60 degrees. And here's the tropics. We're continuing to track tropical depression number 9. Winds are at 35 miles per hour, and it's still well out into the Atlantic. And this is the progression over the next couple of days, generally heading to the west and then maybe taking a trek to the northwest as we get later on into the week. Current track, it looks like it may take a turn out to sea, but it's something that we certainly will keep an eye on as we go later into the start of next work week. And as you go into the start of next work week, the humidity is going to return, but still shaping up for a real nice week at 83 today, 84 tomorrow. Partly sunny skies in the afternoon tomorrow, and even today, we're going to see that sunshine and maybe a few fair weather cumulus clouds mixing on in. As we get into Monday and Tuesday, it looks like the heat returns with temperatures getting close to the upper 80s to near 90 degrees, along with humidity. And we still need the rain. Some communities got it yesterday, but it looks like we have a chance for some more scattered showers Wednesday and Thursday. Your updated futurecast can be found 24 hours a day. Log on to our website at WPRI.com.
Lots of good information there. Good news.
It's going to take some more thunderstorms, too, to get us out of that rain deficit that we're in.
I know. That is the serious side of all of this, when we sit here and say, ah, it's so pretty, it's so pretty. But everybody...
Not a great summer for the farmers.
All right. Thanks very much, Michelle. Well, when you do head out into that hot summer sun, you know how vital it is to block those rays. And we're not just talking about slathering on the sunscreen. It turns out what you're wearing is just as important. Eyewitness News reporter Jodi Fournier shows you how to show off your summer style without getting burned.
Those bright UV rays. For years, people worshipped them, but now we know better. Or do we?
Americans aren't protecting themselves. They're not wearing sunscreen and they're not wearing protective clothing.
Protective clothing? That's right. It's the hottest trend this season. Smart clothes with built-in sun protection.
They are as effective as sunscreen.
Dr. Charlotte Grayson from WebMD says with skin cancer rates on the rise, dressing with safety in mind can be a lifesaver.
There actually is a real benefit to sun protection via your clothing.
That's why more and more companies like Asics, SolarTex, and Coolie Bar are introducing garments that guard. Everything from shirts to shorts, swimwear to hats. They're popping up on beaches and streets across the country.
I think it's a growing trend.
Elaine DeFarley is the beauty editor at Self Magazine. She says these clothes can give you the protection you need while having fun in the sun. And
they're available across the board at mass market retailers.
So what makes this clothing different from what's already in your closet? For starters, most of the lightweight fabrics we like to wear in the summer offer almost no protection.
Actually, a white t-shirt only has an SPF of 5. If you go out in the sun in lightweight clothes, you can get, obviously, a very painful sunburn.
These new sun duds, according to the manufacturers, provide the maximum 50 SPF.
I didn't realize that UV rays could penetrate right through fabric.
But once she learned it could, Rachel Marino found a way to protect her family. She uses a new laundry aid that actually washes sun protection right into your clothes.
SunGuard is very easy to use. You just add 1 box to your regular wash cycle.
And out comes a load of clothing with an SPF of 30. The company that makes SunGuard says it will last up to 20 washes.
Here's something that can transform your own clothing into sun protective clothing. I see it as the next generation of sun protection.
And the Skin Cancer Foundation seems to agree, saying consumers who buy a product with the seal can rest assured they are getting a superior sun protection product. SunGuard is currently the only laundry aid in the U.S. that washes UPF protection into clothing, but the experts say you can expect to see many more in the near future. I'm Jodi Fournier, Eyewitness News.
Just about to turn 6:54 now on your Saturday morning. Coming up next on Eyewitness News this morning.
Seafood, a rock-inflected folk festival, and a rare visit by the Boston Pops are among the highlights of this hot summer's weekend. Details on how you can seize today, just ahead from the Providence Journal newsroom.
And as we take another live look outside, there we go on this Saturday morning. There in East Providence, meteorologist Michelle Muscatello will have another check your 7-day pinpoint futurecast. And we're also just minutes away from your top...
Yes, we're back.
Welcome back, everybody. Hey, thanks for joining us this morning. All right, another summertime weekend with lots to do, from seafood to musical entertainment.
Plenty to do, and Providence Journal Life Beat editor Alexis Miller is going to help us seize today.
Seafood, a rock-inflected folk festival, and a rare visit by the Boston Pops are among the highlights of this hot summer's weekend. The Dunkin' Donuts Newport Folk Festival takes on a rock flavor today and tomorrow, with headliners that include the Pixies and Elvis Costello. But traditionalists won't be disappointed. Peter Yarrow and Emmylou Harris are among the other acts. For a different sort of musical experience, head to Fall River's Durfee High School, where the Boston Pops is performing with conductor Keith Lockhart and guest Liz Calloway. And you'll find country and zydeco music, a family amusement center, a car show, and, oh yes, great food at the Charlestown Seafood Festival. For details on all this and more on how you can seize today, turn to today's Life Beat section. From the Providence Journal Newsroom, I'm Alexis Miller.
Oh, hey,
No,
I'm
he's
kidding.
just kidding around. But the Charlestown Seafood Restaurant, that sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Well, anything seafood sounds good to me.
And it's going to be a great day to spend the day outdoors. Say goodbye to the heat. Say goodbye to most of the humidity.
Goodbye.
See you later. It's just going to be a nice weekend. 83 degrees with mostly sunny skies once we get through the morning clouds. But we're still waiting to push out there to see. And then 84 on Sunday. The heat and humidity come right back, though, as we get into next work week.
All right, sounds good. We'll have a full forecast, not to mention all your top stories coming up in just a minute. We'll be right back.